My goal is to share what it's like to live with fibro. I want to provide hope and long-term treatments that you can use to get through your days and be productive. So this video will be about what the research and online articles say about the differences between men and women with fibromyalgia, the differences between male and female veterans with fibromyalgia, what men say about their experiences with getting treatment, and a view of the differences between men and women. Lastly, my thoughts. All of these studies are in the description section below. Juvenile primary fibromyalgia was studied in 2001. Researchers found widespread pain, sleep disturbance, fatigue, and the presence of tender points in children and adolescents. For this video, I'm going to talk about adults. But many adults have suffered with fibromyalgia since their youth. In the years of 2000 and 2001, a researcher, M.B. Eunice, stated that there are gender differences between men and women with fibromyalgia. Women experience more tender points, fatigue, total number of symptoms, and irritable bowel than men. There were no gender differences found in pain severity and physical functioning, nor were there differences in psychological factors like anxiety, stress, or depression. And men experienced less hurt all over than women. In 2007, other researchers found that men have lower health perception, meaning poorer health, lower social functioning, and more physical limitations than women, while women had greater life interference due to pain. In 2012, a study led by Castro Sanchez found that men exhibited lower pressure pain thresholds over 18 tender points, pressure pain threshold is the point where a non-painful pressure stimulus turns into a painful pressure sensation. Longer duration of symptoms and disability than women. The ongoing pain sensitivity in men was correlated with pressure hyperalgesia over the neck. Hyperalgesia, as you may remember, is the increased sensitivity of feeling pain and an extreme response to pain. In 2018, a study led by Outtake found that older veterans with fibromyalgia were more likely to be women. Women were likely to have psychiatric disorders such as an anxiety disorder, bipolar disorder, and personality disorders, and also connective tissue disorders, which may relate to autoimmune conditions. Women were also 2 times more likely to be diagnosed with headaches. Another significant difference showed that women were nearly 4 years younger than their male counterpart, with 52% under the age of 49. Women were also 1.5 more times likely to be Black than men, but should be taken cautiously since 19% of the sample race wasn't identified. While males were more likely to have been diagnosed with medical conditions such as cardiovascular diagnosis, peripheral vascular disease, and cerebrovascular accidents, and also alcohol dependence. Men were also more likely to be diagnosed with dementia, diabetic complications, and paraplegia. But remember, this study involved veterans. Now, according to WebMD, the researcher I have mentioned about, Eunice, stated that men have fewer symptoms than women. They have less fatigue and pain in fewer places. It's much less common for a man to have pain all over, but in many ways, men are more affected and more bothered by fibromyalgia. First, men don't go to the doctor as often as women. There are gender stereotypes that may prevent that. Men have often felt they need to suck it up and do their work. Often, though, the wives of these men make them go to the doctor. It's believed that about 20% of men go undiagnosed. When they delay going to the doctor, they set themselves up for work, hobby, and relationship complications. And in turn, it's not uncommon for them to have depression. They feel broken and in some cases, suicidal. It feels like their masculinity has been taken away when they're the provider and protector of the family. So the most important thing a man can do is get diagnosed. According to an article in WebMD, a male with fibromyalgia stated that a neurologist refused to see him and discounted his diagnosis, accusing him of only wanting to get disability payments. This man is now on the board of the National Fibromyalgia Association. He stated that even one of his best friends doesn't believe he has it. There was, and maybe still is, within some physician circles, that men can't get fibromyalgia. But we know now that there may be 4 out of 10 or even higher people with fibro are men. However, in many circles, it's stated as more like 1 of 10 or 10%. In my belief, men may not be getting diagnosed as often as females because of the disbelief by physicians that men can't get fibro. But since diagnosing males and females require a better look at the different symptomology, physicians may need a better way to assess fibromyalgia according to gender. In another article by Creepy Joints, one male suspected he had fibro and went to his doctor. The doctor responded by laughing and said, "It's a women's syndrome." Well, he found a new doctor, thank goodness. He went through a barrage of tests and was then recommended to a rheumatologist and was diagnosed. Another man said that getting diagnosed was hard work. He thought he was going mad and it was all in his head. This article states that men are much less likely than females to identify their symptoms and be diagnosed. They may be less likely to express their health concerns. Do men feel like they aren't supposed to complain about pain? In most cases, this is a societal belief. Men feel a heavy burden on their mental well-being, relationships, and careers. They have a fear that others will see them as lazy because on the outside, they may look fine, just like women. But what he is feeling physically is far from that. So I've made a diagram and I use the site Very Well Health online and what they reported. All of what they reported matched the research that I just spoke about. And then I included the additional information from the research that I commented on today. And here's that information. Men deserve the same treatment as women. Online support groups can help. I hope whether you're male or female and found this channel, that you will continue to learn with me about fibro and how it affects all of us, because I know you exist and are out there. Society needs to change their thoughts about men who are ill. So I would like to know what you think, because these factors may not be how your fibromyalgia affects you. It's a list of symptoms that in general are found at a higher percentage in people with fibro, but it may not completely explain what you're going through. I believe, as with all illnesses, we will learn and grow and have a better understanding of how it affects gender over time. I hope you found this video helpful. I send you gentle hugs and support. Love you. Symptom.